Hi, I'm Kyle Leary, grain marketer here at Crystal Valley. It's Thursday, April 1st, and I'm just going to give a quick update on what's going on in the markets. So yesterday we had the big USDA quarterly stocks and acreage report. We had a limit up move on corn. We're up 25 cents yesterday. Today corn backed off a little bit, down 4.5. Beans were up limit as well, up 70 yesterday, but pulling back today, closed down 34.75 this afternoon. So we did put in new contract highs for new crop overnight off the report, but like I said, backing off a little bit here today. So first part of the report was March 1st stocks. Beans were right at expectations, so not a lot of surprise there. Corn was a little bit lower than what the trade was thinking, but no real fireworks on the March 1st stocks number. The big surprise came from the planting intentions number. So corn acres came in at 91.14 million acres. That was 2 million below the average trade estimate and even lower than the lowest trade estimate. And that was a pretty big shock to the market as we've been putting in some really good prices here. They were thinking that we're going to see a lot more corn acres coming down the pipe. So if you take that 91.14 million acres and plug that into the USDA balance sheet from the February Outlook Forum, that gives you a 1.24 billion bushel carryout, or 8.2% stocks to use. That's the tightest stocks to use we've seen since 2012, when it got down to 7.4%. So you can also see the USDA is using a record yield of 179.5. So that's a really big yield number on there, and we're still coming up with really tight carryout. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how things move forward from there. One thing to keep in mind is this just is the planting intentions report. So a lot can change between now and the end of the year. 7 out of the last 10 years, we've seen the USDA bump up that corn number between the March and the June report. So there is room for that to move up a little bit. But regardless, with the numbers that they're giving us right now, it leaves a really tight balance sheet. Bean acres were pegged at 87.6 million acres. That was up 4.5 million from last year, but still 2.4 million below the average trade estimate. So trade was caught a little off guard with the lack of acres, especially as we've been putting in some really nice highs in new crop beans. So if you take that 87.6 million acres and plug it into the balance sheet from the February Outlook Forum, it gives you a 25 million bushel carryout is all. That would be the tightest carryout ever. Before that, the prior record was 2013 when we got down to a 92 million bushel carryout. So trade needs to find a way to either ration demand, or we need to bump up acres here in supply in the coming months. So you may be asking, well, where did all the acres go? And that's what everyone else is asking in the trade right now. Wheat acres did come in a little bit higher than trade estimates at 1.38 above average trade. The biggest percentage change were in sorghum, canola, and winter wheat, but still nothing that really jumped off the board as huge increases. Total principal acres were up about 2% from last year, so total acres were kind of down from what trade was thinking. And we're still down quite a bit from 17 and 18. So there's kind of a lot of missing acres out there. Part of that too, people are thinking the USDA has quite a bit of prevent plant factored in, based off the past 2 years where prices were a little lower and there wasn't as much incentive to get that planted. There is some concern today as trades factored in or had a little more time to digest the report that with these higher prices, farmers are going to do what they can to get this corn planted. The biggest increases in total acres were in the Dakotas, and that was just due to all the prevent plant that was up there, especially in North Dakota last year. So going forward, we expect a very volatile spring and summer with these tight carryouts this early in the year. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of volatility going forward. So if you have any questions, make sure you're getting a hold of your grain marketer. These are great opportunities. We need to make sure we're managing risk and moving forward. There's a lot of great opportunities to do that, as well as leave some upside open. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. With that, have a great weekend.